rooms were special. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur's room, and then next door Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's room. It is said that actually all the four acharyas that we are worshipping on our altar, namely Srila Jagannadas Babaji, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, and Srila Gorgasadas Babaji, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta met here, at least all together. So that's kind of interesting. Four generations in our Sampradaya were in a way contemporaries, or not completely, but at least together at one point. Obviously, it was a very concentrated point in our Sampradaya, because Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was kind of bringing a tradition to modern times, was again re-establishing a tradition which was quite lost. Of course, it was there in Srila Jagannadas Babaji, who was a pure devotee of the Lord. But in terms of presenting Krishna consciousness and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya clearly, that was Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, and then of course followed by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So it's here where everything began, we can say, because whatever we know about Sridhar Mayapur is really our understanding of what Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur gave us. Our entire Navadvip Mandal Parikram, after all, is based on what Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur revealed about the Dham. The Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, which is the book that describes the Navadvip Parikrama, is a description of basically Lord Nityananda taking Jiva Goswami on a parikrama of Navadvip Mandal. And of course, Jiva Goswami kept no records of that. Now that in itself is not surprising if you consider that he was graced by the Supreme Lord. So who would write about that? It would be too self-indulging. So most Vaishnavas would refrain. But how exactly Bhaktivinod Thakur was aware of that parikrama is hard to say. Right? Whether it came down in some sort of verbal disciplic succession, or whether it was internally revealed to him. Up to this point, I have no knowledge of that fact. But it was Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur who, of course, established Mayapur as the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who also developed that birth site by developing the temple there. And subsequently, it was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta who started to make Mayapur famous, and who started to think of different ways to make it famous, to bring people. Because even although Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur had made the temple at Yogapit, people were not going to Mayapur. People were going to Navadvip, and they were convinced the birth site was in Navadvip, and everyone was going there. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he started to organize big festivals here, and with all kinds of activities, even some apparently mundane things, like a fair for ordinary people to come, just to attract them, somehow or other, to get them to come to Mayapur, and then the substance. So when we come